This is Bob Mason from FX Empire, and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages, and the day's support, resistance, and pivot levels. It is Tuesday, the 13th of July. Jump straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, looking at the hourly candlesticks. Mixed start to the day here. Going to need to see Bitcoin move through the pivot at 32,444 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 34,289. Going to need to see plenty of support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 34,000 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 34,655 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you should see Bitcoin target 36,000 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 35,499. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 32,234 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay close sub 30,000 levels. Second major support level at 31,389 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACDs, got a marked narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, and looking out for a possible bullish cross there coming off the back of yesterday's late partial recovery. On the EMAs, however, it's a bearish signal, with the 50 EMA pulling further back from the 100 and the 200 after yesterday's bearish crosses. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot 33,444 and back through to 34,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that, and support levels will be in play. Moving across Ethereum against US dollar, also a choppy start to the morning. Going to see Ethereum move through the pivot 2067 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 2133. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break that back through to 2100 levels, however. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high sitting at 2169 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum target 2300 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 2234. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 1966 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should avoid sub 1900 levels. Second major support level at 1900 should limit the downside. Looking at MACDs, also seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms through the turn of the day, so also keep an eye out there for a possible bullish cross. On the EMAs, however, that's also a bearish signal, with the 50 EMA pulling further back from the 100 and the 200, suggesting further downside ahead. So key would be to move through the pivot at 2067 and back through to 2100 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Better to do that, and support levels will be in play. Across the Litecoin against US dollar, positive start to the morning, recovering from an early pullback. Going to need to see Litecoin move through the pivot at 135 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 138. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Litecoin to break out from 135 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 139.65 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you should see Litecoin target 145 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 143. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 130 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should avoid the second major support level at 127. Looking at the MACD, slight narrowing of the bearish histograms at the turn of the day, but no signs of a bullish cross as yet, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, more significantly, we're seeing the 50 pull back from the 200 and close in on the 100, so look out for a bearish cross there. Would bring support levels into play. So key through the early part of the day would be to move through the pivot at 135 to then bring resistance levels into play. Failures to do that, support levels will be in play. Looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, also a positive start, recovering from an early pullback. Going to see Ripple's XRP move through the pivot at 0.6346 to take a run at the first major resistance level at 6516. Support from the broader market is going to be needed for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.65. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 65681 to cap any upside. In the event of an extended rally, you could see Ripple's XRP target second major resistance level at 6737 before any pullback. Failure to move through the pivot will bring the first major support level at 6124 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should avoid sub 0.6. Second major support level sits at 5955. Looking at MACDs, we've got a narrowing of the bearish histograms, general trend across the market, so keep an eye on that and a possible bullish cross coming off the back of yesterday's late recovery and early upside this morning. On the EMAs, however, the 50 has pulled back marginally from the 100 and the 200 before flattening out, so I need to keep an eye on that. A narrowing on the 100 would support further upside ahead. So key would be to move through the pivot 6346 and back through to 65s to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that, and support levels will be in play.